Morals, something which governs just about every single thing we as human beings in a society do. Whether that be not cheating on an exam because it's the wrong thing to do, or choosing to be kind to stray animals because that's the morally correct thing to do. I'm sure most of us perceive ourselves to be good people who would choose to do the morally correct thing in most situations, right? Well, on that note, let's begin with a small experiment. Imagine you're at a grocery store, you're done checking out, and have emptied your grocery bags from your shopping cart. Do you or do you not return the shopping cart back to its designated spot? Think about it, what do you normally do in such a situation? And hopefully, by the end of this, you may end up learning a little bit more about yourself. Thus, I present to you the shopping cart theory, a theory which originated on 4chan, a social media site, and rapidly gained popularity after being posted on Twitter. The theory received a surge of over 680,000 likes on Twitter, as well as other users discussing its validity. So, what exactly is the shopping cart theory? Well, to put it in short, the theory proposes that a person's moral character can be determined when they decide to return a shopping cart to its designated spot or not. As simple and honestly quite ridiculous as the statement may sound, the actual reasoning behind it, however, may seem quite interesting. Based on the shopping cart theory, to return a shopping cart is an easy, convenient task and one which we all recognize as correct, the appropriate thing to do. To return a shopping cart is objectively right. The theory further states that there are no situations other than dire emergencies in which a person is not able to return their cart. Simultaneously, it's not illegal to abandon your shopping cart. Therefore, the shopping cart presents itself as the apex example of whether a person will do what is right without being forced to do it. The author of the shopping cart theory also stated that no one will punish you for not returning the shopping cart. No one will fine you, no one will kill you for not returning the shopping cart. You gain nothing by returning the shopping cart. You must return the shopping cart out of the goodness of your own heart. You must return the shopping cart because it's the right thing to do. Because it's right. What really defines something as correct or incorrect, right or wrong? We humans are terribly flawed creatures. Our brain, supposedly our greatest prize, is also our greatest downfall. Considering the fact that this very brain of ours that reached the moon also still manages to consider people as inferior simply due to their race. Someone who may always return their shopping cart may also be a bigot. It's simply quite impossible and frankly absurd to determine someone's entire character on such a small variable, in my opinion. People with true and pure goodness in their heart are almost impossible to find. The theoretician also went on to make some rather absurd sounding claims about those who do not pass the shopping cart test, saying that they are essentially people devoid of any morals. The theory starts off sounding pretty reasonable but definitely takes a drastic turn towards the end. The theory concludes by saying the shopping cart is what determines whether a person is a good or a bad member of society. Although this theory at face value may seem like an extremely harsh way of judging someone's moral character, it makes sense in certain specific situations, instances which we as a society have had to follow this past year. Simple things such as wearing a mask or not partying, which were seemingly obvious and sensible things to do during a global pandemic, but unfortunately for some were not. But objectively, in the grand scheme of things, returning a shopping cart isn't that hard to do. Whether you do it or not, definitely should not be something which defines your moral character, but more defines your self-discipline. Morality unfortunately isn't something which can easily be defined as what's right and wrong. As what's right and wrong differs among cultures and individuals. Nothing about how human beings think and perceive can ever be fit into a box. Life is far, far too short for people to be overly concerned about always being righteous or always doing the correct thing, because most of the times life doesn't go according to plan. There are times where we may find ourselves stuck between a rock and a hard place and we have to fight to get ourselves back out, even if that means putting ourselves first and sacrificing the well-being of others. But the truth is, when everyone is gone, you have only yourselves to count on. That is to say, you could be a great person at heart, but there are times when returning a shopping cart is the least of your concerns. At the end of the day, there may be some sense in this absurd theory. Maybe something as simple and mundane as a shopping cart can determine our morals and whether we are at our core good human beings or not. Or maybe this was just propaganda started by grocery store employees to guilt people into putting back their shopping carts in place. I will leave that for you to think about. Thank you.